What if numbers were not just tools of calculation, but keys to a hidden order that underlies the universe? What if every equation, every ratio, every sequence was a doorway into something far greater, a secret language woven into the very fabric of reality? For most of us, numbers are ordinary. They belong to math tests, bank accounts, or digital clocks. But for ancient civilizations, numbers were sacred, infused with mystery, symbols of cosmic truth. To them, numbers were alive. They carried power. They shaped destiny. And today, buried within forgotten traditions and modern science alike, we find echoes of this secret knowledge. Consider the number 1. It seems simple, almost boring. But to the ancients, 1 represented unity, the source, the beginning, the spark from which all else emerges. To speak of 1 was to speak of the origin of existence itself. To symbolize duality, light and dark, male and female, earth and sky. 3 was harmony, balance, and the bridge between opposites. For structure and stability, the 4 directions, the 4 elements. 5, for life and transformation. And on it went. Every number not merely a value, but a vibration, a truth, hidden in plain sight. We see this knowledge echoed in sacred geometry, where shapes built on simple numerical ratios take on profound meaning. The triangle, the square, the circle, each a mathematical form, yet also a symbol of divine principles. The golden ratio, appearing in seashells, flowers, galaxies, even in the proportions of the human body. Hints that nature itself is built on a numerical blueprint. These patterns suggest that numbers are not human inventions, but discoveries, glimpses into the code of reality. The Pythagoreans in ancient Greece took this further. For them, numbers were the essence of all things. Music, they believed, was not merely art, but mathematics made audible. The harmony of the cosmos expressed through vibration and ratio. To play a lyre was to echo the hidden order of the stars. And Pythagoras went so far as to declare that the entire universe was built on number, that reality itself was structured like a grand mathematical composition. But this knowledge was not limited to Greece. In Egypt, sacred architecture relied on precise numerical proportions to align temples with the stars. In India, mystical texts explored the vibrations of numbers and their connection to mantras. In China, the I Ching described change itself in terms of numerical patterns, casting hexagrams as a way to glimpse the hidden order of life. Numbers-guided rituals built monuments, aligned calendars, and connected humanity with the divine. Even today, traces of this hidden tradition linger. When we marvel at fractals, when we use Fibonacci sequences to model growth, when physicists describe the laws of nature in mathematical equations, we are continuing the ancient tradition of seeking truth through numbers. And yet, much of the original sacred understanding has been forgotten. Numbers have become stripped of their soul, reduced to sterile calculation. But what if we could look again? What if numbers still held secrets we have not yet unlocked? The ancients believed that to truly understand numbers was to glimpse the divine. To see the world through numbers was to see the hidden blueprint of existence. Perhaps then, the sacred knowledge of numbers has never really been lost. Perhaps it has been waiting for us hidden in plain sight, ready to be rediscovered. This journey will take us through history, myth, science, and philosophy. It will reveal how numbers have been revered as holy symbols, feared as omens, and used as tools to shape entire civilizations. And it will ask us to reconsider what numbers really are: cold abstractions, or the very language of the universe. The answer might change the way you see everything, from the stars above to the beating of your own heart. Asterisk. Numbers whisper their secrets through the natural world if we know how to listen. Look closely at a sunflower. The spirals of its seeds follow the Fibonacci sequence, a mathematical pattern of growth repeated in pine cones, shells, hurricanes, and galaxies. The same spiral governs the shape of our DNA, the double helix that encodes life itself. When we see this repetition, we cannot help but wonder, are these numbers the handwriting of the cosmos, signatures of a deeper intelligence woven into existence? The ancients seemed to believe so. For the Maya, numbers were not just tools for counting, they were deities, living forces shaping the cycles of time. Their calendar, built on intricate numerical systems, aligned with astronomical phenomena so precisely that it still astonishes modern scientists. To them, numbers told the story of creation and foretold the destiny of the world in Kabbalistic mysticism. Numbers carry even deeper layers of meaning. Every Hebrew letter corresponds to a number, and words with the same numerical value are said to be linked by hidden threads of truth. To study these correspondences was to unlock the secret architecture of reality. Even simple words, when viewed numerically, became cosmic codes. Numbers also shape sound. In ancient China, scholars discovered the connection between musical notes and mathematical ratios, creating instruments tuned to the harmony of nature. In India, sages spoke of Nada, Brahma, the universe, as soundware. Vibration and number were two sides of the same mystery. Music itself becomes proof that numbers are alive, carrying emotion, beauty, and harmony in something as simple as a ratio. And then there is the number 0. One of the most profound discoveries in human thought. To early mathematicians, 0 was not just nothing. It was a symbol of the void, the infinite, the unseen potential from which all numbers arise. 0 became a bridge between existence and non-existence, a reminder that absence itself has power. Without 0, modern mathematics and perhaps modern science would not exist. But numbers are not only sacred in ancient tradition, modern science, too, is built on their hidden power. Physics, at its heart, is mathematics. From Einstein's relativity to quantum mechanics, equations describe realities beyond the reach of human senses. Black holes, expanding universes, particles that wink in and out of existence, all revealed through the language of numbers. It is as though mathematics is a key that unlocks doors we did not even know were there. The strangest part is this. Numbers seem to work not only as descriptions, but as predictions. When mathematicians write down equations, those equations often point to discoveries not yet made. The existence of Neptune, for example, was predicted by mathematical calculations before anyone had seen it. Particles like the Higgs boson were theorized through equations decades before they were confirmed in experiments. It is as if the universe itself is a grand numerical riddle, slowly revealing its secrets to those who know how to read its code. So what are numbers, really? Are they human inventions, clever symbols we created to make sense of the world? Or are they something deeper, fundamental truths woven into the structure of reality itself? If they are human inventions, why do they so perfectly describe the universe? And if they are discoveries, what intelligence placed them there for us to find? The sacred knowledge of numbers suggests a startling possibility that numbers are both human and divine, both created and discovered, reflections of the mysterious dance between mind and cosmos. When we look at numbers deeply, we see not just symbols, but living patterns, echoes of eternity hidden in the pulse of existence. Asterisk from this perspective. Every number carries not only quantity, but also quality. 7, for example, has long been seen as mystical. There are 7 days in a week, 7 visible planets in the ancient sky, 7 chakras in the human body, 7 notes in the musical scale. Is this coincidence or a reflection of a deeper pattern linking cosmos, body, and sound? 13, by contrast, was feared in many traditions, seen as a number of disruption or transformation. Even today, many buildings skip the 13th floor, superstition that echoes ancient beliefs in the hidden danger of certain numbers. Cultures across the world built mythologies around numbers. The Egyptians revered the number 9, seeing it as completeness. In Norse mythology, the world tree Yggdrasil connected 9 realms of existence. In China, the number 8 symbolizes prosperity and harmony, its shape mirroring infinity when turned sideways. These associations reveal how numbers are more than abstractions, they are archetypes. Symbols carrying emotional and spiritual resonance. But numbers are also tools of creation. Think of architecture, pyramids, cathedrals. And temples all rise from careful calculation, built upon ratios that echo cosmic harmony. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned so precisely with the stars that it seems impossible to call it coincidence. Gothic cathedrals used sacred proportions to channel light into spaces that felt divine. Every arch, every spire, every window was a mathematical prayer carved in stone. Through numbers, humanity shaped places where the sacred and the earthly could meet. Numbers have also guided journeys inward. In meditation traditions, repeating a mantra, a specific number of times, 108, in Hinduism and Buddhism, was believed to attune the mind with the universe. The number itself carried energy, amplifying the practice. Pilgrimages around sacred sites often required circling them in precise numbers, as if the act of repetition aligned the pilgrim with cosmic rhythms. Numbers, in this sense, were not just observed, but lived, embodied in ritual and experience. And numbers continue to haunt our modern imagination. We see them in codes, in synchronicities, in patterns that seem to whisper meaning. People find significance when certain numbers repeat like 1111, flashing on a clock as though the universe itself is sending a message. Mathematicians speak of elegance in equations, sensing beauty in symmetry and simplicity. These are not mere coincidences, but reminders that numbers carry something beyond calculation, a kind of soul, a presence that can be felt. If the ancients were right, then numbers are not only tools we use, but realities we inhabit. They shape the way we build, the way we sing, the way we pray, and the way we dream. They connect us to the cosmos and to each other, revealing a hidden web of relationships. Numbers are the silent architecture of existence, and the more we look, the more they seem to look back, inviting us into their mystery. The question remains, why do numbers matter so deeply? Why have civilizations across time seen them as sacred keys to the universe? Perhaps because numbers promise something. We long for a glimpse of order in the chaos. A sense that beneath the shifting surface of life lies a structure that is eternal, unchanging, and true. Perhaps this is why numbers have always inspired awe. They promise that the universe is not random, but intelligible. It's not chaos, but cosmos. To contemplate numbers is to glimpse a hidden architecture, a design that holds the stars in their orbits and the atoms in their bonds. It is no accident that some of the greatest thinkers in history describe numbers with reverence, almost as though they were divine. Galileo once said that the universe is written in the language of mathematics. If we cannot read it, he warned, we wander through a dark labyrinth. And indeed, modern discoveries only deepen the mystery. From the strange elegance of E=mc to the mind-bending probabilities of quantum mechanics, mathematics describes realities that feel more like poetry than science. Why should the laws of nature be so perfectly mathematical? Why should equations born in human minds map onto galaxies and particles alike? This leads to a profound possibility. Perhaps mathematics is not something we invented, but something we remembered. Like explorers uncovering ruins of a forgotten city, we may be rediscovering an ancient structure that has always been there. Numbers, in this view, are not symbols we created, but truths that exist beyond us, waiting for us to awaken to them. And yet, numbers also remain deeply human. They comfort us in patterns, in rhythms, in cycles. They shape our art, our music, our rituals. We measure our lives in days, years, anniversaries, ages. We celebrate milestones in round numbers, turning 10, 20, 50 as though these thresholds carry power. Even without realizing it, we treat numbers as sacred markers of meaning in mystical traditions. This dual nature of numbers, their cosmic universality and their intimate human presence, has always been central. To meditate on a number was to align with the universe. To build with sacred proportions was to invite divine harmony into human spaces. To sing in mathematical intervals was to echo the music of the spheres. Numbers were both bridge and beacon, connecting humanity with something greater than itself, perhaps. Then, the sacred knowledge of numbers is not just about mathematics. It is about relationship. It is about learning to see the hidden connections between things, to recognize that the spiral in a shell is kin to the spiral of a galaxy, that the rhythm of a drumbeat mirrors the rhythm of a heartbeat. Numbers remind us, that we are part of something vast, and that vastness speaks in patterns we can learn to hear. So the next time you glance at a clock, or marvel at the symmetry of a flower, or lose yourself in the beauty of music, remember, you are not just encountering numbers, you are touching the very fabric of reality, woven in ratios, rhythms, and relationships that stretch from the smallest atom to the farthest star. Numbers are not only about calculation, they are about meaning. They are about connection. They are about the eternal. In the end, the sacred knowledge of numbers leaves us with a mystery. Are numbers simply a human lens through which we see the world, or are they the world itself shining through us? The truth may lie in both. Numbers are our greatest invention and our oldest discovery. Our way of understanding the universe and the universe's way of speaking back to us, to honor numbers, then, is to honor the hidden order of existence itself. They are the keys to creation, the echoes of infinity, the silent companions of our journey. And if we listen closely enough, perhaps we will hear in them not just patterns and equations, but the voice of the cosmos, reminding us that everything, life, death, matter, energy, is part of one great numerical song, and maybe that is the final secret. Numbers are not just sacred because they explain the universe. They are sacred because they are the universe. And through them, we are reminded that even in the vast silence of space, the universe is not mute. It is counting. It is singing. And it has been speaking to us in the language of numbers all along. Asterisk.